Pranam everyone. Okay, so we will start today from cell. So, cell is the basic functional and structural unit of living. Means, if we divide our structural or functional unit to the ultimate, then the last unit will come as cell. So, you guys are aware with what is cell earlier?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anyone else?
Ma'am.
Okay. So my screen is clearly visible, right? You can see my slide.
Yes,
Yes,
yes, yes.
yes,
Okay. So
ma'am.
what we are trying to learn today is what is cell. Cell is the basic structural and functional unit of living beings. So, for example, how this works, like a whole building, a huge building is is there, and it is made up of different floors, different rooms, and those rooms are made up of different walls, and each and every wall is also made up of a single brick. Like that only our body is also made up of. A human body is representative of whole world too. There is a famous saying that denotes that human body is representing the whole universe. Yat pinde tat brahmande. Yes. So, our just like our human body means as it resembles the whole universe in it, so the single unit is cell. Means if we extract a cell from human body and we give it proper nutrition, it will it may live, it may lead its life. So how are cells in our body, how cells are residing in our body, just like a brick in the building. So living beings are of different kinds. Some are unicellular, some are multicellular. So unicellular means organism totally made of one cell only, and multicellular means organisms with multiple cells. Just like humans, we are having multiple cells. We don't know how many cells we are carrying right now. But there are some organisms with single cell too, just like amoeba, just like paramecium, some bacteria, protozoa. And if you know that egg, we can see in market egg of any bird or anything. So eggs are also single cell. So humans are multicellular organ, and today we are going to learn human anatomy and physiology. So from very basic, we have to learn that is cell. So cell resembles, means human body resembles just like a building. So as in building, A brick is only the single unit. Means from so many bricks, a wall is made, and from so many walls, a room is made, and from so many rooms, a floor is made, and some of collection of floors make a building. Just like that, our basic unit, just like brick in human body, it is cell, and collection of cells make organs, and collection of organs make a system, and collection of 11 systems are making human body. So what is cell? Cell is the structural and functional units of organism. What is meant by structural and functional unit? Means all the structural properties of a living body and functional properties of a living body is present in a single cell. Means a single cell can consume food, it can digest, it can respirate, it can excrete. All the properties of living is present in a single cell. That is why structural and functional unit of organism. Now, cell may vary in size. There are types of, means different types of cells are there, and they vary in size. We will know in detail further. The Latin word cella is the origin of word cell. Means the word cell came from Latin word cella, which means small room. Now, the first time discovery of cell was done by Robert Hooke in 1665. So this is very important question in exam point of view. Who discovered cell in which year? The answer is Robert Hooke in 1665. Now let me tell the story behind this discovery. Robert Hooke was great scientist, but he discovered only the cell walls. Cell walls are the boundary of cells. So he took a part of that cork, means a wooden part, and he kept this wooden part in front of microscope, and he saw some honeycomb like structure. So those were not cells, those were cell walls only. Why? Because it was wooden part, and that wooden part was dry, so no cell left as living, means all the cell were dead because the wooden part were dry, no living property was there. So cells were not there, but cell walls were there. So collection of cell wall made a honeycomb like structure, and that was discovered by Robert Hooke. So this is the story behind discovery of cell by Robert Hooke in 1665. So approx 200 types of cells are there in human body. And here in this picture, you can see the basic structure of cell. This is a very, very basic structure of cell by which you can get an idea of cell. Here in this picture, you can see the outer layer, that is cell membrane. And in the center, there is a large organelle. Yes, organelle is the term used for the beings inside the cell. Is parts of cell, parts inside the cell are known as organelles or cell organelles. So the largest cell organelle you can see here, that is in this cell, is nucleus in the center of the cell. And a fluid filled throughout cell is known as cytoplasm. We will study all these organelles in detail. You can see mitochondria. This is known as powerhouse of the cell, means kitchen of the cell also. It processes the food for cell. And ribosomes is also known as protein factory, and we will learn all this in detail. Now, a human cell is of two types. First is prokaryotic and second is eukaryotic. Generally, prokaryotic cells are found in unicellular organisms and eukaryotic cells are found in multicellular organisms. Generally, not a fixed statement. So, what are prokaryotic cells? Prokaryotic cells don't have a membrane-bound nucleus. Okay, so we will study the terminology membrane-bound when we will know what is membrane. So, membrane is the outer layer of any particular thing. So, when the nucleus is covered with a layer, that is nuclear membrane. So when a cell is having its nuclear membrane, then it is known as eukaryotic. But when a cell is not having nucleus with nuclear membrane, then it is prokaryotic. Okay, so examples are shown here: amoeba, bacteria, paramecium. You can see in this picture too. So prokaryotics don't have a membrane-bound nucleus, and eukaryotics have a membrane-bound nucleus. This is the main difference between prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Generally, prokaryotics are unicellular and eukaryotics are multicellular. Till now, everything is clear to you all? You can speak out.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now we will go in detailed structure of cell. So cells are organized into three main regions. So what are those three regions? First in plasma membrane or cell membrane. Second is cytoplasm. Third is nucleus. You can see in this picture the outer layer covering cell is plasma membrane or cell membrane, and the fluid in cell is known as cytoplasm, and the main part of the cell is nucleus or brain of the cell, which govern the whole cell. Now, at first, plasma membrane or cell membrane. The outermost component of cell is cell membrane because it is covering the cell, right? And it defines the border of the cell. Yes, just like our country is defended by its army in the borderlines of our country. Just like that only, each and every cell is having a cell membrane for its protection, for its defense purpose, and the cell membrane is also having different channels for different particles to enter and exit. You can see in this picture these pink colored channels are the gates for they are the gates for entering particular particle and exiting the particular particle. So this is the outermost component of cell, defines the border of cell, double layer and semi permeable. Yes, it is double layered. You can see the double layer, that the head of this layer is at the outer part and the tails are in the middle part. So it is bilayer of phospholipids. Right? So phospholipid and protein is making the cell membrane. Phospholipid, if we break the term phospholipid, it comes as phosphorus and lipid. So our cell membrane is made up of phosphorus, lipids and proteins. So functions of cell wall are protection, means obviously it is the outer layer or covering, so it will protect the cell from outer part or outer world. Now it controls entry and exit of materials, means it acts like a gatekeeper. So means the things, everything cannot enter to the cell without permission of cell membrane. Cell membrane will give permission what particles should enter the cell and what should exit the cell. Now, next is cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is a fluid inside the cell. All the cell organelles are floating in cytoplasm. So cytoplasm is present between plasma membrane and nuclear membrane. Right. So nuclear membrane is the covering of nucleus. Here in this picture, you can see a wholesome property of cell. This is a complete cell. In this picture, you can see the outer layer or the outer covering, that is plasma membrane or cell membrane, and almost in the center you can see the nucleus is present. Nucleus is the round structure almost in the center, and nucleus is covered by outer layer, that is nuclear envelope or nuclear membrane. So cytoplasm is the fluid present between nuclear membrane and cell membrane, means outside this nucleus and inside the cell, there is a fluid in which all the organelles, all the parts of cells are floating. So that is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm, also known as cytosol, plus variety of organelles. Means cytoplasm is the collective name for that fluid plus cell organelles present inside the cell. If we take only the fluid, then it is known as cytosol. And if we are talking about cytoplasm, then it is the collective terminology of the fluid, that is cytosol, and all the organelles present inside the cell. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, cytoplasm is a viscous, colorless, and watery material. Viscous means it's a little bit denser than water. Like honey, honey is a bit denser, it will not flow as water. If you drop water, then it will flow as per the fluidity. But if you drop honey, it will not flow just like water because it is a bit denser than water. So this density of fluid makes the fluid viscous. Just like honey, also cytoplasm is also viscous in nature. It's a bit denser than water. And cytoplasm is colorless and it is a bit watery material. And cytoplasm contains a large percentage of water. Obviously, it's fluid, so it will contain a large percentage of water. And it contains inorganic ions, organic compounds, and organelles. Okay. So, what are the things cytoplasm is containing? Cytoplasm is containing watery material, inorganic ions, organic compounds, and cell organelles. So, these inorganic ions, organic compounds, and watery material are making the fluid only. So when we are collectively talking about this fluid and cell organelles, this is known as cytoplasm. Now, what are the organelles present inside cell? So the organelles are mitochondria, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, ribosome, lysosome, and centrosome. So these are the main cell organelles present inside cell. First of all, mitochondria. You can see in this picture the shape of mitochondria and how it looks like. So shape of mitochondria is like oval or rod shaped structure. It may vary in number inside the cell. Means there may be few number of mitochondria in some cells and there may be multiple number of mitochondria in some cells. So it can change its shape continuously. And what are the functions of mitochondria? It breaks down the food molecules to produce energy. Right? Mitochondria breaks down the food molecules to produce energy. And what is the form of energy in our body? Anyone? See, make the class two-way communicating class. Otherwise, if
Didn't get your question, ma'am.
yes, the form of energy in human body. What is the form of energy in human body? Energy resides in which form in our body?
You mean that kinetic something like that, no?
Glycogen.
Uh, no, glycogen is not energy form. It's a type of carbohydrate. Yes. So energy resides in our body in ATP form. That is the simplest form in our body we can find energy. That is adenosine triphosphate. Means if we need energy, then it will come to us from mitochondria in ATP form, adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so ATP is a form of energy in human body, and mitochondria produces this ATP from food materials. And you shared about glycogen. Yes, from glycogen energy is made, and glycogen is a form of, or yes, glycogen is a form of carbohydrate. So mitochondria is also known as powerhouse of the cell, as it provides power to the cell. Power means energy, and also known as energy factory, also known as kitchen of cell. So these are the names we provide to mitochondria because of its functions. You can see well in this picture how it looks like inside the cell. It is being dissected here. Okay, now endoplasmic reticulum. A network of membranous fluid-filled tubules is endoplasmic reticulum. You can see in this picture well, and how endoplasmic reticulums look like. They are connected to outer layer of nucleus. In the middle, you can see the round sept nucleus is present in this picture, and endoplasmic reticulums are connected to the outer layer of nucleus. And there are two types of endoplasmic reticulum, rough and smooth. Why the difference rough and smooth? Rough endoplasmic reticulum is connected with ribosomes. Means the outer layer of rough endoplasmic reticulums are covered with ribosomes. So ribosomes are small particles which synthesize proteins. So as ribosomes are attached with endoplasmic reticulum or rough endoplasmic reticulum, so these rough endoplasmic reticulums also synthesis proteins. So this is one function of rough endoplasmic reticulum. Now, smooth endoplasmic reticulums do not contain ribosome in their outer layer. So there's a smooth endoplasmic reticulum synthesis lipids, and they work for detoxification of cell and synthesis of steroid hormones. Right? So I think it's almost 8 o'clock, and in last minutes we will work for question answer sessions. If you have any question, any doubt, you can ask me, and we will continue the topics further from tomorrow. Now you can ask me questions regarding today's content. If there any doubt, any confusion.
Ma'am, in plasma membrane, you define
Yes.
the it is double layer and semi-permeable. What does that mean, semi-permeable?
Yes, semi-permeable means everything cannot go inside or outside the cell without the permission of the cell membrane. Here you can see the structure, and it is bilayered. You can see the round heads of phospholipids in the outer side of cell membrane. This is the picture of cell membrane. You can see the round heads at the outer side of cell membrane and the tails inside. Every phospholipid you can see here with two tail and one head. So two tails are inside inner part of the cell membrane and heads are the outer parts of cell membrane. So and in between them there are channels which are fixed for particular particles. Like sodium will go in and out of the cell through only the sodium channel. Potassium will only go in and out of the cell through only potassium channel. So it will be decided by cell membrane only who can go inside and who can come outside of the cell. That property is known as semi-permeable. Everything cannot go inside and outside of the cell as per their wish. It will be decided by cell membrane only. The needed particles will go in and the unwanted particles will come out of the cell through cell membrane through their particular channels as per the wish of cell membrane. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, it is clear, but too much of terminology, and uh, we have to remember everything, ma'am.
Okay, it's very less. Is there any problem? Means if you can't understand any of the terminologies, you can stop me just there and you can ask me at that point and also after the class.
Ma'am, what is the synthesis mean?
Synthesis means production or breakdown. Synthesis means production, yes.
Sorry? Protection or?
Production, not protection. Production,
Okay, production. Okay, okay, ma'am.
yes. Synthesis of energy means production of energy. Okay. Mitochondria produces energy from food particles by breaking down food particles. Just like uh, the one who said glycogen. So, glycogen is broken down, and the simplest form is made, that is ATP, and we use ATP as energy.
Clear, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am,
Any
what
more
is
questions?
ADP? Ma'am, ATP भी है यहाँ पे
ADP
और
is
ADP
adenosine.
in the diagram.
Yes. ATP is adenosine triphosphate. ADP is adenosine diphosphate. So di is representing 2. Tri is representing 3. So when it is diphosphate, that means 2 phosphates are present in that molecule or in that combination. And when it is triphosphate, then it is 3 phos means the combination is containing 3 phosphates. That is why triphosphate. So when we use energy, then it is ATP only. ADP is not used as energy in human body. Means when there are 3 phosphates in that combination, then only it will work for us. Okay.
So, ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, I want to ask that when the food, what we have eaten is converted into glucose, then that glucose will be called ATP, ADP.
No, this is not the final process. Glucose is further more broken down into pyruvic acid or pyruvate. Then it goes under Krebs cycle. Then we use that energy. So
So,
there is
that
so
energy
many.
is known as ADP.
Yes, ATP.
Okay.
So after glucose, there are so many processes in between consuming the ATP as energy. Glucose is not the final. Okay, glucose is the simplest form of carbohydrate.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, you all know the types of nutrients. Carbohydrate is one of them.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So, any more questions?
No, ma'am.
So, ma'am,
Hmm.
so what cell is taking is ADP, right? It's not glucose, what we are generally told.
No, the ATP is met inside the cell, inside the mitochondria. The cell is taking glucose only. So, after the means when glucose is coming to cell and that glucose is broken down inside mitochondria. That breaking down is made by mitochondria. Look, yes,
Oh,
you are. I think yes, please.
no, nothing, ma'am. I was saying yes, ma'am.
Okay, so glucose is coming to cell, and that glucose is broken down into ATP by mitochondria through
Okay,
glycolysis and Krebs cycle.
okay.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, so I think it's clear till now. So I will share the slides in the group, and you will go through the slides, and every day uh, after the class you can ask me questions for your doubt, and every day in the beginning of the class I will ask question from last class. So please go through the slides when I share those slides. Okay, so now we will end the class by our ending prayer. Mm, okay, sit straight, make your spine erect, close your eyes, deep inhale and exhale. Once again, feel your breath. Adapt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Inhale deep and long and start the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Now rub your palms, put those palms on your facial muscles, feel the warmth, feel the energy, and open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.